The Childhood Development Initiative, CDI, began implementing a Restorative Practices programme in Tallaght, Dublin in 2010. Restorative Practices, or RP, help us to actively build good relationships, prevent the escalation of conflict, resolve conflict in a healthy manner, and repair harm when wrongdoing has occurred. Since 2010, schools across the country have been developing restorative practices to the point where the government has a programme of in-service training for teachers at primary and post-primary level. Restorative practices can help in building social and emotional well-being among students, can improve morale among staff, and improve relationships between teachers and students. This video features a principal of a post-primary school in Tallaght talking about the benefits of embedding restorative practices into daily life at the school.
When I was invited by CDI to come to a meeting about restorative practice, I grasped the opportunity to take on the training for myself, to learn a little more, and for the staff of the school. So we formed a steering committee here in CDI with the members of the community. I suppose that was very appealing, that it was a community-wide initiative as well. The Gardaí, lots of community groups, health board, and we looked at how we would best develop it in the community. So I took on the school part, and I suppose we were one of the first groups to be trained. 80 people were trained in our school, including a few community group members. They received the training. So that was a year ago, and the staff took to it really, really well, and it was really positive. So from there we've trained a number of students. We've had parent groups in the school for training as well, and a number of our teachers have had more extensive training, a 2-day training, and we're working on that, we're working through that. When you work restoratively to solve a problem, it's like collaborative problem solving, and you are really not so interested in what rule has been broken, but you're interested in how somebody has been affected by the behaviour, or how somebody has been harmed, and how you're going to repair that. So our focus is away from the punitive and the discipline, and it's really focusing on repairing and on supporting the young person who has been harmed, the young person who's been the wrongdoer, to support both of them really, and help them to come to some solution. And I suppose we don't give young people enough credit for how well they're able to solve problems. I think schools, we may have taken that away from young people and decided that as the adults we were able to solve all the problems, but in fact it's amazing, and the wonderful solutions they come up with, and how emotional sometimes when I have a restorative meeting in my office, and it's usually at a high enough level at that point, adults can be upset and can be very emotional, and it really repairs damage.
You don't have to have a room where you can move furniture around in order to be able to do a circle. I'm a science teacher, and I can't move any of my lab equipment and my benches around. So what I do is, I've called it the Squirkle. So we have a kind of a squiggly or a square circle, and I practice it every day with nearly all my classes, and sometimes we have a check-in, sometimes we resolve issues, or other times it's literally just to build and bond and see what's going on. We're basically, the essence for restorative practice is building relationships, and that's the preventative method, and then you can restore the harm then. Because you have the social capital built up, it's much easier to repair any issues that need to be repaired.
In the beginning, I think the students were totally on board, because we did it in an innovative way. The seniors came up with the idea. The seniors come up with the idea of, well, why don't we role play a conflict, and we'll just barge into a class, have kids fight and get their attention, rather than just sit there and give a seminar to a group of students. So straight away the students were engaged. They saw how it worked, and they analysed themselves. Oh, you asked calm questions, everybody got a time to speak, they took turns. So I think the students were totally on board, and they expressed that they would like conflicts to be resolved in this way. And then the circles, sometimes when you introduce circles initially, students can be reluctant to share, maybe because they're embarrassed, maybe because they're thinking, oh, please don't make me talk. But I think when the momentum goes around, and I would never directly insist upon someone participating. You want them to work with you. That's what restorative practice is all about, getting everybody to work with each other and with me as a teacher. So then people will join in, you know, when they see that it's done in that safe way. So I think the response from the students, even from the outset, has been very positive.